Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP. But before we fully jump on into this video, I do just want to ask for all those XRP holders out there, how have you guys been liking the overall price movement in the market? XRP sitting at like roughly 42 cents. It hit 43 cents last night, really kind of starting to wake up. How have you guys been liking the price action? Comment down below how you guys have been liking it. And also hit that like button if you guys have been enjoying it as well. Now, today we have a very touchy subject to go over. I know YouTube is a little bit weird with stuff like this. They usually mute the videos. They don't like, they just don't like to push the content when we're talking about, touchy subjects like this. But we are going to be addressing the World Economic Forum here, and we're going to be addressing a worldwide global blackout event that will lead to the rollout of the new system on digital rails. Finance Lancelot over on Twitter quoted the Disclose.tv's announcement 16 hours ago. This was talking about Pakistan. They plunged into darkness after a country-wide power outage. More than 220 million people without electricity. This is just a practice run for much bigger. And yes, I completely agree. Listen closely to this video. This is from the World Economic Forum, by the way. Listen closely to this.
The COVID-19 pandemic has shaken our economies and societies to the core and shown us how vulnerable we are to biological threats. In the digital world, similar risks are being overlooked right now. A cyber attack with COVID-like characteristics would spread faster and further than any biological virus. Its reproductive rate would be around 10 times greater than what we've experienced with the coronavirus. To give you an idea, one of the fastest worms in history, the 2003 Slammer sapphire worm, doubled in size approximately every 8.5 seconds, infecting over 75,000 devices in 10 minutes and almost 11 million devices in 24 hours. Fortunately, at least until now, cyber attacks have not impacted our health the way pandemics have, but the economic damages, and therefore the impact they have had on our daily lives, have been equal and sometimes even greater. You see, the only way to stop the exponential propagation of a COVID-like cyber threat is to fully disconnect the millions of vulnerable devices from one another and from the internet. All of this in a matter of days. A single day without the internet would cost our economies more than $50 billion, and that's before considering the economic and societal damages should these devices be linked to essential services such as transport or healthcare. As the digital realm increasingly merges with our physical world, the ripple effects of cyber attacks on our safety just keep on expanding at a faster pace than what we're preparing for. COVID-19 was known as an anticipated risk. So is the digital equivalent. Let's be better prepared for that one. The time is now.
So yeah, this is from the World Economic Forum. We just recently did a video actually on a global blackout event that they were talking about. They were even preparing us for it then, and it was talking about a catastrophic global blackout event. In my opinion, this is coming. And this will be the significant event that leads to the global rollout of the new system. Now, all of it and everything that we are starting to see is shaping up to that moment. The death of the petrodollar, digital asset buy, posted this video. This is from Glenn Beck's podcast. Listen closely to this video. It's about 2 minutes and 25 seconds long, and then we will address a few things after the fact.
Saudi Arabia, China, Russia, they're starting to move their entire economy. Russia is now backing their ruble with oil. So it's like it's like a petrodollar. Oh, that'll never work. Oh, wait a minute, that's what we did. Until Saudi Arabia said, yeah, we're going to accept anything. Really, you Chinese can pay us in the yuan. We're fine with that. We'll take a ruble. Whatever. What does it mean? Why have we not discussed? What does it mean with the death of the petrodollar? It means that half the world, the part of the world that's not with us, is no longer required to hold a dollar, a US dollar. What happens when half the world's countries say, oh, we don't need the dollar. they begin to sell them. They already are. And if they're sold, what happens? They go out in the system instead of in a bank, which does what? Too many dollars in the system chasing too few goods, inflation goes up. So what do? You raise interest rates. Well, the problem now is, as we are seeing the death of the petrodollar, you're also seeing the Fed in a very unusual place. Raising even another half point is spooking everybody who pays attention to this stuff. The Fed has to raise interest rates to get inflation under control. But when they do that, this is how they control inflation. They take more money from you, they slow your spending down, and so that causes you not to go chase those goods with the dollar, okay? And then they're supposed to take those dollars in interest that they get, take them back into the Fed and destroy them so there's not too many dollars. So the first step on this road is to hurt you and your bank account and your ability to buy things.
And this is already happening right now. We're starting to see a very, very strong move away from the dollar due to what the U.S. is doing. We're going to get to that here in a second. And we actually have a nice response down here from Real Lisa Daly. What's really bizarre is that we, the U.S., aren't defending the U.S. petrodollar. In old times, this would have been an international crisis. Today, crickets. And yeah, it's because everything is already pre-planned. They already planned the new system. They already planned all of these events. And when we do talk about the US dollar, we've been reporting on this for so long. The events leading up to the global shift away from the US dollar. OPEC countries, they're shifting trade away from the US dollar. They're testing the boundaries of what they can get away with prior to shifting oil and natural gas trade settlement to US dollars. Now, also with this, we take a look at what's happening in the U.S. Molly Elmore, 22. What could possibly go wrong? Quoting Watcher Guru, the U.S. Democrats push to eliminate the debt ceiling, allowing unlimited borrowing for the government. I mean, we're already at $31.4 trillion in debt. Why not push the boundaries even more? What could go wrong? What could possibly go wrong with this? All while, overseas, China says that the United States needs to cope with its own debt problem and stop sabotaging other sovereign countries' active efforts to solve their debt issues. Things are getting hot. The criticism came from the Chinese embassy in Lusaka, Zambia, on Monday, which blasted the U.S. over its catastrophic debt problem and accused it of sabotaging other nations. Yeah, this is exactly what happened. Go look at what happened in the last 6 months, 12 months, 24 months. Go back even before, the pandemic. What was the U.S. doing? All throughout history, the U.S. has weaponized their dollar. They have weaponized their dollar systems, aka SWIFT. What have we been discussing around SWIFT? Oh yeah, that's right. We will see a new SWIFT rise. And we're starting to see that. And guess what? Guess where it's rising? Not in the U.S., but in China. Matthew Lin Watt, Chinese blockchain project aims to be the SWIFT of stablecoins and CBDCs. This is happening in real time. While guess what the U.S. does? Oh yeah, that's right. They propel Gary Gensler into a high-tier position at the SEC so that he can go after all of these major projects and, say that crypto's this, crypto's that, and apply 1940s law to an industry that is extremely nascent. It's an industry that's in its infancy stage, slowing innovation down within the U.S., and pushing innovation outside to foreign nations. Nations that are already tired of utilizing the US dollar and US-backed systems. So what do you think is going to happen next? Oh yeah, that's right. They're going to create these new systems I've said it time and time again on this channel. All of what we are seeing is a pre-planned move, a global shift. Here's the partner list of Red Date Technology. Do you notice a few names there? Oh yeah, that's right. A lot of these are crypto companies. R3, Algorand. Hyperledger is a main player behind a lot of crypto companies. Quant, for an example, Ripple, Hedera, Casper. There's so many tied to Hyperledger. You have Solana here, which is very surprising. It could be utilized as an option. It doesn't mean that it will be utilized, as we do see Matthew Linwide responding. Clayton's here. Clayton is a huge one. They were being utilized within Korea for their CBDC settlement system. Consensus is here. The Linux Foundation, direct ties to major players within the system as well. Quant is a big one that's tied to them. And there's so many other ones. And this is happening right now. There's a lot more as well. Everything that we are seeing is moving outside of the US at a very, very rapid pace. And what are we doing? What is our government doing? What is our nation doing? Dragging their feet, trying to parade around as if they're doing anything remarkable besides hurting you and me and every other retail individual within the US. Spending our tax dollars on complete nonsense. A circus show, if you will. Now, what happens next? What is going on right now outside of what we are seeing? Well, we're seeing new systems rise. We're seeing discussions happen around the world with CBDCs. We've talked about Ripple and their role in CBDCs. For an example, happening this week, register for the Digital Pound Foundation's webinar. What is a digital pound really used for? With Ripple's VP of Central Bank Engagements and CBDCs, James Wallace. I told you guys to also pay attention to Anthony Welfare. He's a huge name behind Ripple with CBDCs, and he's been talking about how the XRP ledger is perfectly positioned and developed and designed for CBDC issuance, settlement, burns. I mean, everything around CBDCs, every single mechanism around CBDCs, the XRP ledger is perfectly positioned to be that. Ripple's website has a central bank digital currency tab on it that breaks down everything happening behind CBDCs, and it even specifically mentions settlement utilizing a cryptocurrency. And we all can read between the lines and realize what currency is the best for settlement. Atomic settlement, better yet, between two CBDCs. This is also why I believe that Ripple only has 2 CBDC projects right now under its belt. Because I strongly believe that once we see atomic settlement happen between 2 central bank digital currencies, it will put in place the race to adopt this technology. And this is going to happen. We do see down here really makes you wonder how many CBDCs are working alongside Ripple and XRP. I could only imagine the NDAs that are in place. I could only imagine what's really going on behind closed doors. But we do know that a digital pound is on its way. We know that CBDCs are moving extremely fast. There is so much happening around CBDCs that I don't think people really realize just how big of a move this is going to be. We are seeing the entire economy. We are seeing society as a whole. We are seeing the entire world racing towards digital technology, digitization, tokenization, and all while the US is trying to fight against it. It really makes you question what's really going on. But in my opinion, as we look at what the elites are trying to tell us, the plan is right in front of our face, but most are saying, nope, it's all conspiracy theory, it's all this, it's all that, it's all, whatever. For the longest time, we've seen conspiracy theorists being made fun of. We've seen them, being talked about as if they are clowns. And guess what? At the end of the day, they always have the last laugh. This is no longer a conspiracy theory. We are seeing the warning signs everywhere. And I really do hope that you guys are awake. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because I'm more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.